I can't drive.
It says scheduled. Live. Now it says live.
We're live. Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Traci.
I'm Lisa, and
I'm Roy.
we're a couple of pickers. No, that's not it.
Oh, my hold on. Comcast went out. I'm freezing.
Okay.
Hold on. 888 Comcast. Please help. Comcast.
What are you
Help.
talking about? What are you talking about?
Help.
I didn't pay
Comcast.
the bill.
Comcast, take me away.
Hi, Lisa. We see you. Be wide awake, Tommy.
I'm ready. I'm so ready to talk to Valamilk.
I know. Why isn't she here? Yeah, I know. But who is here? You know who came in? They can't be here, but David M was here.
Hi, David.
He's working late today, dang it.
Them people, man, they don't ever quit.
I know. Gosh, there's Alexis. Hi.
Hello, storage scavenger.
There's James. He's my neighbor. I don't know where he lives, but he's somewhere.
Mexico?
Huh? Yeah, Mexico.
Okay.
Right on the border near Tijuana. Hey, Jacob. How are you?
Jacob with a K.
I know.
No, here's Glenn doesn't have to work today. All right. Nice.
Nice.
Remember those days in school when you prayed for snow and now it's like you're old and you hate snow?
Well, and you have kids, so you're like, no, they have to be home all day. Are you kidding? No.
Oh, God.
There's Susie. Hey, good morning.
Susie don't sleep.
How late did we go? Not that late. I don't remember the time. I never look at the clock anymore. It doesn't help me at all.
No.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
There's the Canadian crew. Fresh off of their ASMR speech last night.
Yeah, that was good.
Jody, Thrift Beast. Cliff still in bed.
If you don't know Jody, Thrift Beast, here's him. They've just started a weekly ASMR show in Canada. There's the best mod in the world. Bumcrack. I'm sorry. I have to put Bumcrack first. It's just the way it is, Michelle.
Oh, the UK's awake. It's so weird when you see the UK pop in like early. It's like a good feeling, but it's weird.
It is. Hi, Patty. How are you? Oh, there's a new name. Grandma Magic Classics. Hi, Grandma. There's Damien.
Yep. And
there's my girl. Georgina.
Yeah.
I didn't reply yet, Georgina, but cool. I'm her husband's free pass.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yep, apparently.
That's awesome.
I know. Get him here. No. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming in. So, no, we didn't go that late last night, really. It was a weird show. I didn't get any work done either. I went straight to bed afterwards. I need a list. Today's a list day.
I'm sure Alexis will have at least 12 hours of stream today. If not more. There's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. Lauren's
starting to come out of her shell, I can tell again. I see Instagram posts. I see coming in the show.
Yeah. Lauren is sharing people's closets this morning. That's awesome. I'll try to get you back, girl.
It won't happen?
No. No, I think listing's more important, and I have to list. I've got a bunch of clothes to steam and get listed today. North GA Picker.
Where's North Georgia Picker from?
North Georgia.
Okay, good. Just testing you. You've been hair and makeup for 6 hours. I want to make sure that
6 hours. Today was a quick day in the hair and makeup chair. There is Max, Sleepless Hunter. That name is going to throw me off for a while. Sorry.
I know. There's Tim.
Yep, there's Tim. Good morning. Everybody got their coffee, their pen and paper? Tommy's going to teach. I know.
Valamilk is not here.
I know. It's too bad. So on Tommy's channel last night, we taught Valamilk how to make an eBay listing. And what we came away with...
any of it?
Do
you think she retained any of it?
No, but she can go back and watch.
I know. But it's just mind-boggling that it takes that much to talk someone through a listing. I thought about it last night. I was like, that was a lot of talk to get through. Not even a whole listing on eBay.
I know. You don't even think about it when you just are doing it. but when you have to talk it out, it's insane. It really is. So, especially when you're coming from a Poshmark background, she'll be fine. I mean, she's so willing to put the time and effort into whatever, you know.
But it's just like, I wonder if eBay's actually sat down and ever talked a brand new person off the street through a listing to see how ridiculous it is. Like, it just made me think about that last night because I've never done it. And walking Val through it last night, I was like, I'm exhausted.
I know.
And I have no idea. Like, then it's like I can tell that I'm losing my train of thought because it's so much. There's no way someone listening can retain that. They're going to have to go back.
No, and it's really ridiculous. The bold titles for what, $3? I mean, these things are they don't even belong there. It doesn't work. There's no way that works. There's Chris Chernock.
There, hey, thanks for coming, Chris.
Thanks a lot.
And
so I wonder how Jenny's feeling. I hope you're doing good. I know she just had surgery.
Yeah. Hope you're doing well, Jenny. With your hippie hips. You ready to take a run yet?
Right. She's going to be running soon. That's the thing with replacements like that, knee or hips or anything. They get you moving right away. They have to. So it's pretty intense. I've watched a lot.
The vinegar jars here from the UK. Hey, Pete. First time I've seen you in one of our streams. Good to see you.
Hi.
I feel like I only love eBay because I've been doing it so long. It's like embedded in me how to list quickly. I know, but it was just it was just grueling to like talk someone that has never done it before. They have no idea how to do it. To try and talk them through it step by step, and be slow and try to be a little bit thorough, but not overwhelm them was overwhelming.
It was very overwhelming. I know. I was like, I think I need to quit.
I know. I was like, this is ridiculous. I just
and I know you list on your phone, so it's less of a struggle.
Oh yeah.
I tried it one day. I spent the whole day of listing on my phone, and it's just not who I am. So I get the ease of it. I totally understand it. I think once I take my business policies off and all of that, it'll make more sense for me to maybe do it from the phone. But there's times where I can't get things to work on the desktop, and I actually have to go into the phone and do it, and then I can go finish it on my desktop.
And then it looks Greek to you because it's like totally different.
It does.
It is wild. Like they shouldn't be that different. There shouldn't be 100 more options on the desktop than there is on the phone.
No, not at all.
That are unnecessary because the listings are fine on the phone. You know?
Yeah. So now that you took your business policies off, it doesn't create anything for shipping. Like you get to just choose.
I just click what I want and move on. I don't have to do anything. Yeah.
That's my goal. I've been saying it for so long to get rid of that, and I just forget to do it. I need to go in and just knock that out and be done. Lauren makes a game of it and sees how fast she can list.
Did she say if she was a phone or a desktop?
I think she's desktop. What do you use?
That would make sense. Okay.
I believe. I might be wrong. Or laptop, whatever, same thing. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Oh, yeah. There, duh. Take the photos, then upload to the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Like, it drives me crazy, though, having a PC. Like, because I have an iPhone, so I take all my pictures with the iPhone. And I've started to try to do that, right, with List Perfectly.
Yeah.
Then when I pull up iCloud, I have to download them because I'm on a PC as a zip file. And then extract them and then create another folder. It is such a cumbersome pain in the ass. So I'm like, I'm going to change this up. I'm going to buy a Mac, and that way I can just airdrop right to the Mac.
Yeah, mine automatically just goes in.
And they're there. You can use them right from there. You don't have to unzip them, move them to a folder or anything, right?
Right. And I take photos with my phone. So if I forget to turn my Bluetooth off a lot just because it interferes, my car messes it up for some reason. So if it's not on, I'm like, why are my pictures not here? And I have to just turn it on and wait a little bit. It's not a big deal. There's always something else you can do.
Oh yeah. There's always a quirk with something. It's just weird that the technology is a little weird. Like I also like to listen to Poshmark from my phone.
Yeah, I do all my cross listing on Poshmark for my phone. I don't think I could even do it for my desktop. I really don't, because I don't like Poshmark's desktop app or whatever. It's not. It doesn't make much sense to me.
And the guy that I watch in the UK, George Ross, he lists on his iPad, and it looks. I've never seen it close up, but the way I'm watching him swipe stuff, it looks really cool. It looks different. I need to see it myself. So I really want to see that.
I haven't. I should try it. I don't know. I've never done that. But I think he takes his pictures on an iPad too. That seems like a pain.
I don't know what he does.
I can't imagine holding an iPad, no matter what the size of it.
No, I feel like a cameraman for ABC News.
Right. And it maybe is someone else I'm thinking of, but I think it's him that uses that.
Do you have to recomp after you upload the pictures again? Because on the phone I just sell sim. What does he mean?
Who?
You have to recomp sleep Mac. Do you have to recomp after you upload the pictures again? Because on my phone I just sell similar. I mean, if you're just changing pictures out, you don't have to do anything except change the pictures out and apply.
And put a price in. I mean, when you sell similar, I wish it would just put their price in so you could remember what they had.
No, if he's just talking about swapping pictures out, he literally just swaps the pictures out and apply, and it's, hit list again, is done. That's it. Nothing else.
Huh.
That's what he's talking about, right? Re-uploading pictures.
Oh, like he took new photos.
Yeah, like he redid his photos.
I see. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting out of it. If I'm wrong, just say it and we'll go over it again.
I wouldn't know because I have a stack of things that need to be rephotographed over here that I haven't done yet.
Hey, Bluegrass. Bluegrass is here.
Hey, Anthony, right? Yep.
Kaya.
Bumcrack's here. Hi.
Bumcrack cannot be here.
Yeah, he is.
Where?
He's here. There's Kaya. Kaya EV. I can't ever say that. Kaya. I think it's just
Kaya.
Yeah. Right on.
So you're 11 minutes in and you've talked about nothing yet. What are we doing? You're driving. Let's go.
Okay, we've been talking. We could just sit here and
how do you get free labels from UPS into the Dymo 4XL, the Rolly Semi-Massive? It doesn't work.
I've never done it.
The free UPS labels are supposed to be for the Rollo or the Zebra, one or the other.
Yeah, there's a good link. Who has it? I think maybe it was Lonnie has a good link to the cheaper Dymo labels.
Yeah, I use the Dasher labels on Amazon. They're perforated and they don't jam up, and I don't have to unplug it nearly as much.
I've never had a jam up, but I've only had my Dymo for a couple months.
Yeah, Rollo. Yeah, Rollo. The UPS labels are not for the Dymo. That's why they don't fit in there.
Yeah, but I feel like the Dymo labels are cheaper than like actual Rollo labels would be.
I don't even know. Yeah. I just don't like the idea of like I see people with the Rollo, and that I just don't like the way it even looks sitting in front of me with like just a pile of labels. And
I don't like that either.
I don't like that. It might be the most brilliant machine on earth, but I just can't stand to look at it, so I'll never have it.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree.
I'll never ever do that, and like I just can't even. I see Rally Roots has it, and
no, I think it's a nice machine.
Kevin has it, the Commonwealth Picker, and I know they don't. They work wonderful. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong. I just don't like the look of it, and aesthetics make the difference.
And that's the one I was going to get, and they even have like the container that holds the labels for it. Still is too much space on your desk because I have stuff everywhere, and it still doesn't look good. But I don't know. They have a roll thing that you can hang up. I just no, too much.
You don't keep labels behind mine. You don't have to. Oh, I just see everyone doing that, so I don't know. I never used one.
What do you do then, Kaya? Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then the Zebra is just expensive, in my opinion. But I know it would work well and last forever.
I mean, the Dymo's flawless, other than like occasionally, like one out of maybe. I don't know, like 75 prints, it just won't print, and you just unplug it and plug it back in and it prints. And
yeah,
I mean, it's other than that, it's absolutely flawless.
Yeah, that's the only thing, and I don't know why it does that, but that's the only thing I've had an issue with at all. And the rest is always user error anyway.
Oh, you tear them off. Okay, so she just goes that extra step to tear them off. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like how quick it is. It's just so much better. I can't believe I waited so long. I'm an idiot.
I know.
I did.
But I was watching Ronnie Hart cut him out the other night, and it was kind of soothing just to watch him. I was like, this is kind of weird to watch him cut these out. It's kind of like soothing, because if you have a business model like his,
yeah,
it's fine. He
doesn't have to ship out too many packages a day and still makes more than most of us. His items are.
Yeah, Kelly, that's the nice thing. That's why I went with the Dymo, because I originally was for Amazon.
Yeah.
It works.
That's why I picked it as well, in case I decide to ever start Amazon. What did Pat say? All the labor just for free labels.
You're talking to thrifters, Pat. I mean, come on. I mean, they try to give their mom a $19 gift card instead of going for the whole 20. I mean, let's be real here.
Mm-hmm. So Chris is saying sometimes his sensor gets dirty on the Dymo, which causes to print extra in multiples. I don't even know where the sensor is.
Mine only does that when I use cheap labels. Like if I've used like bullshit cheap labels, it'll go bonkers. It'll cuss me so hard.
Well, that's the thing. How do you know? I mean, besides reading reviews, that's why I use somebody I trusted, link, because these are not Dymo branded, but they've never given him a problem. So I figured I would do that. Yeah. And, you order in bulk to save money. So it would be real crappy to get a bulk order of crap.
Yeah, I have the little labels for my XL too, and I've never even tried to use them yet. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I know, Pat. It's just funny. It's just a mindset. I mean, people like in this space try to get anything they can for free. They spend more time like trying to get stuff for free. It's so weird.
Yeah,
it cracks me up. Hey, Frankie Fines.
How are you?
So disappointed that's not you in the picture, but hey, for another show.
Applied for a job within a job with weekends off. Ooh, good luck.
There you go.
Man, that must be hard to get back into a job after being a reseller. I don't know.
It's hard to get back into a job after just not being in a job.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like I was supposed to start like looking for like stuff to do this week, and I've yet to do it because I just don't want to do it. I just need something to like get me out of the house, like a couple hours a week.
I think Uber Eats is something I might look into.
I don't want my car smelling like food.
True.
No,
my car already smells like food.
No, I'd rather mine just smell like my gas. Like
My makeup did a great job this morning. Thank you so much.
I know. Like, go back and look at what she looked like on my show last night. Like she got run over by a train last night, and then
today. Let's just go ahead and describe how that went down. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, and that's how I looked all day. No makeup. Boy.
I'm kidding.
True story. There's a lot of women that probably wouldn't go on a screen like that, but it doesn't bother me.
Would you have done it 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Really?
Why not?
I don't know. I just feel like it's something like you have to build up to. I feel like you're more conscious when you're younger, and as you get older, you just like get more to where you realize the world doesn't matter and you don't care.
I'm probably more conscious now, but it just doesn't bother me. I mean, like that's what I look like. Like, what am I going to do about it? Nothing.
Right.
No. DoorDash. Yeah. I just think during a peak hour or two in the afternoon, I saw my daughter make some really good money doing Uber Eats. She's done Uber as well, and she made more money doing Uber Eats and less time out there.
I wonder if I don't see. I live in a weird area. Like I could see like where you're at. Anything could probably be profitable. But where I'm at, man, it's pretty desolate. I mean, I'm closer to Maryland than I am like my next town over.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's a weird thing because a lot of times you have to have your registration with Uber in every state you're Ubering in. So I don't know how that would work out. Hey, blended whiskey.
I don't
know. Bone crack, you've never worn makeup. What's wrong with you? Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't wear much makeup because I was in a world of where people would put makeup on me all the time. I just didn't wear it in my real life. Anyway, that has nothing to do with reselling. But no, what I was doing this morning, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I get tired of what I purchase for inventory, I go onto eBay and I'll like look up something. Like this morning I was looking up coffee makers. And I put in a price range to see what sells in that. Oh, there's Zahir. Hi, Zahir.
Hi there. Thought I'd pop in.
Excellent. I love it. Miami Heat.
Yeah, you know.
No. Oh, Kathy, did you ask a question? Shoot. No, I don't mind that at all, girl. You know that. So here, what I was saying is, do you ever do this? I always want to know what's selling, especially in like the small appliance world, because so many things go out of production and then become valuable or whatnot. And coffee makers is one of those things, right?
Yeah, I think once, I can't remember what it was now, but I bought, there was a certain kitchen thing that's become quite collectible,
Mm-hmm.
and it was selling for like £60, and if you looked at it, it wasn't much. It was some kind of like like a sauce maker. It was literally like an old sauce maker by, I can't remember whether it was Braun or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, there are certain things like that which can pick up good money. And I've just actually listed a soup maker today.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So well, it's drafted anyway, so with the photos, but it's not live. I'm just doing a bit of listing.
What is it valued at?
What the soup maker?
Yeah.
There's a guy that's got like a multi listing, and he's been selling them used for £32.
Mm-hmm.
And considering brand new, they're about 50. That's not bad, is it? It's not. It keeps a lot of value.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy.
Hayes here. Sorry.
Do they still make it though? Like that's the thing when you find the item, like the God, what was it? I should just share my screen and show what I did.
Real quick before you go any further, I don't want to lose it. Mac, what I do if you're listing from your phone, I just find the comp in the phone, similar from the phone, upload the pictures from the phone, and you can do two things. You can either save it right there as a draft in your phone and finish it on your PC, or finish it on your phone. It doesn't matter either way. You can do it. It'll carry over either way. Is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Is there a better way to explain that?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So that's the way I do it. Like,
yeah.
I do the whole listing. But if you're either way, you can just use.
Well, and what a lot of people do when they're in the thrift shop or whatever, and they're comping it right then and there, they'll save that as a draft. They'll sell stuff right there and save it as a draft so they can find it when they get home,
right,
on their desktop or whatever they choose, which is something I always forget to do.
I remembered what that appliance is, by the way.
Yeah.
If you look for a Tefal Le Sorcier, so they're like vintage, and they boxed, they go for like nearly £90 someone got, but even open they go for like really good money. Someone actually got like 118 for one as well, which is crazy. Wow. They weren't worth that much when they came out.
That's incredible.
So, but here's from the soup kitchen. Is that what I heard?
No, it's just like an old vintage thing that people really pay
decent money
for. Ages ago, it's just Traci was talking about kitchen appliances that get discontinued, and it's a Tefal Le Sorcier, worth looking out for because they're never going to be valued high.
Right. Well, and people love them, and when they can't find them, they're willing to pay up. So you kind of have to keep track of what is not being produced anymore, and it's not always easy. There's a few people I follow on Instagram that show mostly beauty supplies that are, out of production now and are still in stores, clearanced out. And I love looking at that stuff just to know if I see it, I'll grab it, because that kind of thing goes super high in value too. People just get really addicted to what they like. But
the biggest market that's like not even tapped is discontinued. I think anything discontinued is not tapped at all.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of Amazon people chase it, but
you can totally do it on eBay because I know you can sell used on Amazon too, but I think sometimes eBay might be higher.
It's mind-blowing. If you say
old stock electronics would be the best thing. Like if you could ever come across a pallet of boxed VCRs or something, you'd make a killing on those, because the value of them is just going up and up and up and up.
It's wild, isn't it? What people pay for a regular standard just VCR, brand new in the box, they'll pay hundreds of dollars. Like I don't even understand that. You can buy 10 of them for $1 a piece at the thrift store, and just like, I don't understand. They just want the new one. They'll pay more. But like you said, people get addicted to their makeup, their shampoos, their conditioners, and like my best one ever was eye drops, that I ran up and down like the East Coast looking at, and they were $7 a bottle, and you could list them in your car on Amazon. They would sell within 2 hours for between $150 and $200.
Was that the one that had like something weird in it, like cayenne?
Mineral oil.
Okay,
Yeah.
like cayenne pepper. I don't know. Burn your eyes.
Yep.
Okay.
It's wild, but people to watch, like you just never dream that someone would pay that. Like, but if you go and like go into Ollie's and scan the hair the beauty aisle or whatever, where they have the shampoo, the soap, the toothpaste, all that.
Right.
Oh man, you can find some
like minted
in this.
People will still spend big money on minted toothpaste, which I used to love it too, but I didn't think twice when it went away. I just switched. But people put a lot of thought into that, I guess, and they search it out.
It's unbelievable. It's like, have you ever done any of that over in the UK? Is it here? Like, thought about chasing discontinued stuff?
Well, people do. I mean, like there's people like vintage Lynx after like deodorant. So you can buy like Lynx from the shop for like £1 or £1.50, but they search out like the 80s and the 90s ones. Because they go for really, really good money. It was actually one of the earliest things that Nick Hills shared on YouTube. That he brought attention to it in one of his really early videos, and loads of people know about it. But it's things like that are crazy. I mean, and once I came across a really good haul of electronics, which was like new old stock, and I think I was underpricing stuff, but at the time I didn't care. Like I had these boxed Philips digital cassette players, the DCC players, and used they were going for like 150 or something. And I think I'd listed them at thinking I was going really high because I had nothing to compare it to, because it's hard enough to find DCC players, let alone boxed ones. So I just put them up at like 500 or something, and I think like overnight some guy in Australia bought them off me, and I'm like, I wasn't complaining because I paid £50 per unit, so I still made good money. No
doubt. Yeah. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Hold on. Okay, is it showing?
Oh wow, yeah.
Okay, so let me make that bigger. And so I just put in like a price range of like $70 to $150, because I figured those are easier to find, right, at yard sales or whatever. So obviously this Breville is a big deal because I was scrolling through and I found a lot of these because they have the grinder in it. And Breville's a brand that, normal people buy all the time. It's not like these are big fancy items. But the one, I see a lot of this one too, the Technivorm. I've never even heard of it, but those are probably discontinued, I'm assuming. I've sold a bunch of these Black & Decker space makers. These things sell really fast too. And like this says here in the title, no hardware. Well, they come with a bracket normally, so you can mount it under your cabinet, right? They still sell fine. Look, $109 without the hardware to mount it. And that's because people in RVs like that. But the one I'm always on the hunt for right here, this one, the Mr. Coffee Cafe Latte. Look at that. Pre-owned, $137.50. I don't even
it's
think
not even good, is it? It's not even
people
like
love it though. They absolutely
but like it's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good thing about it.
I found these in thrift shops for $4.99, but they're always beat up and missing pieces. So I've not sold one yet, but it's kind of my bucket list item, and there's a couple by Mr. Coffee that they just stopped making it, and I guess they didn't sell well, but the people that loved it. See, here's another one, $139. These sell for like $190 used on Amazon, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then like here's another one of that same Breville with the grinder. And like this just looks like a basic, coffee maker. So I don't know, so I try to keep up to date as much as possible, especially during yard sale season. Oh, this one's fire. That one, this Black & Decker Space Maker, the newer one, rather than the big bulky box one. But I don't know. It's fun for me when I'm having downtime to just go through and look. See, Black & Decker has a ton of different varieties too. $120 used. I don't know. This one intrigues me. But I just do that every now and then in different categories to see what's selling. Does everybody do that?
Definitely, I do it quite. It's a good thing to do. I haven't done it as much as I should recently, but I do it every now and then where I'll get into like a rabbit hole where you try to figure out, because it's the way you can learn brands as well, isn't it? Because you're searching by price, it'll pop up with all these different items and brands, and if you see like a theme, like you've mentioned the Black & Decker one there, and if you see a theme, you'll know to pick it up. And if you do the same thing, you can do the same thing for espresso makers, you can do the same thing for whatever else. So
right. And I feel like thrift shops don't really, I feel like they see Mr. Coffee on the brand and they go,
sounds cheap. Yeah.
Me, I definitely would. I'd walk right by Mr. Coffee.
I mean, it looks cheap. In a way, it's good because it looks cheap.
They're
I mean,
like plastic, right?
That was the good thing with the Tefal thing as well, because it looks cheap. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look, it's not like when you see like a nice like Kenwood food mixer or a KitchenAid and it's all metal and glass and looks really nice, you can tell that's going to be worth some money.
Yeah, that's when it's these weird things you just don't realize.
Yeah.
And I need to do that with the beauty products this week too, because I think now is the time that people or companies start moving or changing packaging or changing fragrance, or so there are going to be more at the beginning of the year of the new items coming out. So the old ones are getting clearanced out, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey Tim, I didn't see you come in over the years. So thank you. My shirt. Everybody likes my $9 Marshall shirt.
I know.
They make so many, like I have so many PlayStation and crappy like shirts. They're so cheap. I just pick them up.
Yeah, you're probably like all of us. We're hard on our clothes. When I don't know, we're just always on the go and always cleaning stuff, and I don't know.
I just don't wash them, so they deteriorate.
There you go.
No, I'm kidding. But no, they're just so cheap, and it's like you can never find like the original ones, and if you do, they're so expensive. It's not. What? I thought Z was flat softly opposed to coffee makers that weigh less than 500 pounds.
That's for owning, not selling.
That's for owning, yeah.
Yeah, I watched a little video of you making coffee the other day on Beck's.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like with coffee machines, like heavy ones do tend. I mean, commercial ones are always going to fetch a lot of money, and you can get them. You can get them cheap, but it's not always. Not always the.
Yeah.
They're not always out there, and plus, when they are, you've got to be careful if they work properly or not. And
yeah,
so it's not for everybody.
No, it's not. And a lot of times, though, with just regular coffee pots, all it needs is some vinegar thrown through it to, take.
I'm sorry, I messed her name exactly. Grandma, what was her name? She said throw some effort in that bitch and leave it in there overnight, and they're perfect. I never thought of that.
Throw what in there?
Like denture cleaner, Effordent. Like,
oh, there you go. That's smart.
Tip on cleaning coffee pots and thermoses. Denture cleaning tablets. Drop in the water. Next morning clean.
Nice.
Will that work for a Keurig too? Like because I'm scared of the Keurig. Like I use it all the time, and I make myself feel sick because I'm always scared. Everyone says they have
a cleaner.
You just run water through it afterwards, and you're okay.
Yeah.
Water? What do you mean? It's
the like Keurig? So you put a cleaner in, whatever the cleaner is, to clean out, to make sure it doesn't block up, and then you just run like empty cups of water through it.
Oh yeah, I run like vinegar through it to descale it. But does that help for mold and shit they always talk about that's in there? I don't know.
I don't know.
I stopped using Keurigs a long time ago. They freak me out too.
Yeah, I know. It just makes.
I'm like, and it's really not that great at coffee either.
Well, I mean, I don't think really any coffee you buy, unless you're grinding the bean, is.
It's got to be fresh.
It's got to be fresh. Old mold coffee, right? So here's got.
But even beans, like you can't just they've got to be freshly roasted. If they're not.
Use muriatic acid.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll try that next time. Yeah, but also, coffee grinders, the burr grinders that don't
Big
heat
money.
the bean.
Yeah.
Those are good. I sell those locally usually, though.
I always look out for commercial grinders as well, because
Never found one. You have one, don't you?
yeah, you can
At the
find them.
Reseller.
But again, there's some brands you can look out for, like Mazza. Mazza is a good brand, and then there's Malkonig and thank you, hon.
Hi.
Oh, we got a chicken burger.
Tell her
No,
to
it's
say
a
hi.
beef burger.
Beef
Tell her
burger
to
today?
say hello, please, to here.
You have to come and say hello.
You have to. I love how I said that. You have to.
This is
You
a
have
new
to say
rule.
hello. She can't hear you, by the way.
I can't hear you again.
Yeah, she can't hear you because the headset.
We'll
It
cuss
sounds-
you out. Don't worry.
She's gonna cuss you out. She says.
What kind of roll was that? That looked like a nice roll.
It's just a big roll. Yeah, it's just like they call it a barm up here. I don't know why. BARM. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that real beef or is it 40% filler?
Probably 40% filler. I'd guess it's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Why do they do that there? I wonder. Like,
I think I don't know. You can get obviously 100%, beef burgers. Of course you can.
but they charge you through the nose, don't they?
It's not even that. I think this has got that dirty taste to it. That that I specifically bought these burgers because they have like that kind of it's not all beef, but it tastes good.
Okay.
They're like the ones they use in the kebab shops. It's
So MSG in that.
Oh God, no, at least.
MSG squared.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. The box was glowing when I
You
picked it
can
up.
reduce the scum by. Yeah, I have the charcoal filter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
does.
use that. Yeah.
If
And they've
you
been going on clearance a lot lately at like Walmart and stuff, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So how long did you guys sleep for? Because you guys were like, did you sleep a lot, or how long have you been awake for?
I don't keep track. I don't know.
I got like 3 hours.
I got maybe 4 or 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys need
But
to get
that's
your
all I sleep
up.
anyway. Normally, like if it's more productive to actually be working on something like this than it is to just be watching YouTube and doing nothing. So.
Oh yeah, no. I agree with that.
Yeah, but I usually only sleep 3 hours, and
That's just
then
not
like
normal.
no, it's not. But then I'll crash like every 2 weeks. I'll crash for like a 10-hour day,
Yeah.
and then I'm good for another couple weeks.
God, I have a person bothering me on Facebook today. I know they're not going to show up and buy anything, but they want to ask all these questions and get extra pictures, and then it'll be like, you're too far or something,
Mhm. Where they're where are you located?
Mm-hmm.
If anyone ever hits me with, is this available, I never ever respond ever.
Yeah.
Not once. I put in every listing. Do not respond to, is this available, or will you ship? Every listing starts with that.
Yeah,
I will not respond to.
I have to respond though. It's within me to go, yes, it is. Let me know. But I always put, let me know when you want to come get it.
Mhm.
Like I just go,
Have you left your house yet?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I figure if they respond at that point, they might be serious, possibly. But half the time they don't. It's sad because I really had higher hopes before Christmas when I, was doing okay on there. I had higher hopes that it might be changing, but it's not.
Yeah, they drive me crazy. The Facebook Marketplace people. I've had good ones too, but for the most part, I think Facebook Marketplace people are the people that can't figure out eBay. They're like one step lower than the eBay people.
Yeah.
And if you know how those questions go, Facebook Marketplace is like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really weird with my time. Like, I waste time for myself. I don't like other people wasting my time, if that makes any sense
No,
whatsoever.
it does, because you have nobody to blame but you when it's you wasting your time. And
Yeah.
that makes it work. Harsh, Tommy.
It's not harsh. It's reality, though. It's just it becomes reality after a while, right? How
Yeah,
many
if you
times does
spend
someone
it-
click on you?
If you spend a heavy day listing on Facebook, because I just do it in spurts. I don't do it like daily. It's not part of my work routine or anything.
Mhm.
But I'll spend a day, okay, today's Facebook.
Yeah, same thing.
It's,
Like, I don't respond to them anymore.
You get bombarded with
Mhm.
things. So you do, and if they don't respond in English, I don't even try anymore. I used to try to translate. I'm like, they have Google Translate just like I do.
Right.
My listing's in English. I obviously speak English. Translate it.
Yeah, if they can't do that, then they damn sure don't have the energy to drive to you and pick it up. If they're too lazy to just use the translate button, right?
Yeah, and I know Translate doesn't work great, but
It works well enough.
Yeah, it works well enough for sure, especially if they're just saying, "Is this available?" Like,
exactly.
I don't think I could deal with that. I
No.
mean, I'm kind of like trying out just dumping stuff at auction as well.
Well, it seemed to go pretty good for you recently, didn't it?
Yeah, last week went well. I'm gonna take some more stuff in as well. So yeah, I just feel like it's working better, and it means I don't have to deal with Facebook. So
Kathy, before Christmas, like the 2 weeks before Christmas, I had this bug up my ass to put all of the giftable stuff on Marketplace, and it did really well. Really, really well. People that were just last minute, they waited too long, they couldn't get stuff, they missed the deadline. But then it was like, it just, those people are broke now. They're all broke.
And that is it. They,
I understand that. I mean, totally. I mean, I know it won't pick back up. Probably now people are going to be in seasonal depression until spring, and that's fine. I mean, I just let them sit there.
Yeah, definitely.
I just want to say I'm being so productive.
Are you?
That's awesome.
Yeah. You better be, because you haven't been online. It's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
It's because I'm trying to be productive. I've got to try to be productive.
Good.
Like, yeah, I'm actually
That's
getting
my goal too. How are you doing it? Because
it's really difficult. It's really difficult. No, I mean, I think YouTube could help if you was, if you're smart about it. It could help. You just need to be disciplined. Like, I think for me, like the biggest problem is like photos. I've recognized that photos are my biggest Achilles heel. Like, not in terms of difficulty of taking photos or not liking it, but in terms of workflow, as it were. Because I just think that, like, once I've got photos, I can do so much more. Like, I could, if I've got photos, I could be out listing. If I've got a laptop, I can be out listing. I mean, right. People go to coffee shops and they go to wherever there's Wi-Fi, and they can be outsourcing and have a little break and list some stuff because they've got photos. If you've got photos, you can't do that if you haven't got photos. Do you know what I mean? So like, and also when it comes to YouTube, I think this is one of the things that's been kind of stopping me from doing the lives is like, I like when I'm doing a live, I want to talk to the chat. I want to sit down and talk to the chat. Like, I have done it where you're taking photos and in and out, but I don't like that. I think I just prefer it like I prefer it when I'm actually sat here and doing this. So I kind of feel
as your dirty burger's getting cold.
Oh, it'll be fine. It's probably, it might become like a double if I leave it long enough.
It might
grow in, yeah.
He's taking his time with that. He's savoring the burger.
Yeah, I'm saying. But I think, like, if I have photos, then I can, like, I can sit down and I can draft and I can talk while I'm drafting, and that way it's not going to be terrible to watch or listen to, and also I'm getting work done. But until I can get that squared away, I'm just trying to get that into my head, because obviously
it bothers me to do drafts first and then take photos. But if I take the photos first, I'm good. But for some reason, the opposite way, my head is done in.
It's really difficult because sometimes, when you buy something and you bring it home and you do that thing where you're researching it, that is a good time to draft it. Because how many times do you research something and you spend some time researching it, think, oh, that's a good item, and then you put it aside. And that's all that time. As soon as you put it aside, all that time you spent researching it is wasted. Because the chances are, when you go back to I'm growing myself into a triple. It's going to be a triple. The chances are, when you go back to listing the item, when you actually get to listing the item, you'll have forgotten what the going rate was, or even worse, obviously markets change and your item could have become more or less valuable in that time. So you're going to end up checking the price all over again anyway, aren't you? So I think if you're gonna go home and go through your haul and check it, that's the time to just draft it anyway. But I think definitely have photos like in bulk. I'd
Yeah.
love to just.
Well, my biggest issue with that, I think, is I've spent time drafting things, and then I go to photograph it, and then I notice flaws or cracks, or because that's the time you see it the best, right?
I always photo first. I never ever draft first for that exact that's one of the main reasons. But it's just it's all in what you like. But if I have photos, I'm gonna list it. If I have drafts sitting there, that doesn't mean I'm gonna list it.
It doesn't do anything. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the only reason I've ever done that is because maybe I was live on a hangout or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to photograph on my lives. It's upstairs. I'd have to take a laptop.
Yeah.
And then it just messes
That's
me
the
up.
thing. And when you do the pros and cons of those, then clearly it's better to have. If you could only choose one in first, then clearly photos are the main thing, right? And I think that's what.
But I see so many people that draft first, and I can't wrap my head around that. I think
it depends because, like I said, it just comes down to convenience and getting something done. Like
it's
about getting some. Well, no, because it's still getting the work done, isn't it? And then you've just got to add photos because it can work in other ways. I mean, if you're doing like, for example, with the radio controlled car parts, it works really well because Beck can just draft a bunch of parts which are multi-quantity, and then I just have to take photos and attach them once she's done them, and it keeps it. That was quite a good way of doing it because that way you can count. She can do all the quantities. That's the thing. It doesn't really apply to most people because most people are buying one-off items one at a time. But say if you've bought a massive lot and there's multi-quantities and you're coming across 10 of these, and then 5 minutes later you find another 10 or something, it can be a real pain. So she was drafting and she was sorting through the stock, so she was knowing what quantities to put in. That was the main reason. So when the drafts were going up, they were going up with the right quantities, and we're not finding the same item like later and things like that. So
yeah, but I think if you're doing the research, you might as well create the draft and just don't do any of the work. Just start it. That's fine if you're doing it that way.
But do you take your pictures in batches, right, Z? When you do them, you take a bunch of them and then
yeah,
I thought so.
Yeah, and I used to do it. Georgina, where did it go? Georgina takes she tries to just do a whole day of photos, and I used to do it that way too. And I think I worked better that way, just all day photographing.
And then a listing day or whatever, and then and that probably would be better, smarter if you could if you could follow the structure. But I have trouble following my own structure, so if I say Monday's going to be picture day, well, Monday will end up being burger day. Was it here? So it just, I mean, look.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes the YouTube lives get in the way of everything. Live stream.
Yeah, it's
Hi, Dory.
I only have nighttime.
She put onion in it as well. It's delicious.
Yeah, Andrew would love it, wouldn't he?
No.
Whoa, well, we're talking about eBay photos, Dory, not those kind.
That's right.
But and I don't know about anyone else, but my biggest bottleneck is the photos. If I could pay someone to do my photos, that time that they're saving me could be utilized 3 times over. Photos for some reason are the bottleneck for me. They're always the bottleneck. They take probably are for everyone. They take the longest.
I think it's just you can be so much more flexible and with your day. If you've got those there, you can list anywhere now. It's really easy to list on your phone or your laptop or your tablet or whatever. But the thing that's difficult is the photos, because you can only do that. We all have certain spots where we like to take our photos, whether you've got a lighting setup or whether you've got a certain room where the light's good or whatever, or a certain bit of floor that looks decent as a background, or a certain wall that looks good as a background. So you're very much limited. You can't just do that. I mean, ideally you'd do the whole, while you're out and about, you'd find something and you just throw it in the boot and take a photo of it and list it. Ideally that would be great if you could do that, but you're not going to be competitive there, are you? I mean, unless you've got some kind of a Men in Black style boot where you open it and there's a nice photo setup ready for you.
I know, right?
That would be amazing.
I don't like my photo setup right now at all. I think I have to move things around. If I want to do male clothes, I have to put my male mannequin in the area because that's where I do the female mannequin also, and that's where I also throw a table when I do small, hard goods. So I really need to focus on what would be most productive in the photo.
Oh, you don't just turn your mannequin around backwards and make it a flat-chested female like I do?
Not normally. No. No.
Mine looks like a discus, like a woman that throws discus. Like she's built like a brick shit house with no boobs.
Oh, that's funny.
I can only buy extra large and large.
Right. That's the other thing. Like I think I want to just do flat lays and hang things mostly now. It's just so much faster.
I mean, yeah, I've gone for hangers are the best for me. Honestly, I've had mannequins before.
I never like the way it looks on a hanger. I'll just be flat
it looks infinitely better on a mannequin. There's no doubt about it. Infinitely better. Like especially some clothes. Like when I first started reselling a few years ago, my majority of things I did was actually clothing because I used to buy them in massive bulk. Like literally, I'd have a pallet delivered to my house and go through all this. It was really good. I had a really great auction down south, and got some great stuff. And I had it set up at the time because all I was doing was clothing. I had it set up so I had like a nice frame with the white background. The mannequin would be stood. I'd have the space to do that, and it was okay. But it's so much quicker to just shove something on a hanger, and I think it comes down to like, it will look better, but does it need to look better?
And yeah, it's better if it does, but I see others selling it.
Well, that's the thing, and then you start adjusting because what you can do is you can then you start being more like you need to do those things if you're selling like a really saturated item, isn't it? I mean, like you have to have a great photo with a mannequin so you can stand out. Like if you're selling something that there's a million others listed, you've got to start doing things that are more different. Whereas then if you start thinking the other way and you start actually being stricter on yourself and learning about like the more like nicer brands, like for example earlier on you guys were talking about Arc'teryx, right? You can and there was that guy that had taken like an upside down photo. You can do that with an Arc'teryx because it's an Arc'teryx. Well, exactly, because it's an Arc'teryx. The work is done for you. So it's the same thing. Like if I saw like an Adidas hoodie that was plain with a tiny Adidas logo there, or I had this Adidas Heat hoodie, this is going to sell itself versus that over here anyway. I don't know about in the US, but over here this will sell easily because it's so cool, right? And like you start thinking like that, and I think it's learning to become better at it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that conversation that we had about everything sells eventually. So if you just are happy to list and leave things forever and they eventually sell, you still pat yourself on the back because you made a profit, and you ignore the fact that it took you a year to get your money back, and you ignore inflation eating into it, you ignore all of that stuff, so you don't really learn anything. Whereas if you tell yourself, actually, if anything I buy hasn't sold within 3 months, then that item is rubbish. It doesn't matter what it is, it's rubbish because it hasn't sold within 3 months. Then you that's the only way you're going to learn, is by like dumping stuff because it hasn't met your criteria. Whereas if you go for the other way, it's kind of painless because you can just throw something up, be like, it'll sell when it sells, and then you don't have to judge yourself on what you bought. You don't have to make those difficult calls and say, was that actually a good buy? You might have
unless you're in a niche that like you're going in like antiques and stuff, they're not going to sell. They're going to sell when they sell. You can't force the sale. Clothes are the same way though.
You say that, I don't think that's true. I think there's lots of antiques. I think there's lots of antiques which are slow because they're not in demand. Whereas I bet you there's antique dealers out there that solely deal in antiques that they know are always hot. Because in the antiques world, there will be just, if not more, there'll be more things that like people want. Do you know what I mean? Like there'll be people that want that antique. I don't know. There might be certain. Like there's certain antique jewelry that people want, right? There's certain,
I guess you're probably right. Like, I guess you're probably right. Yeah. Well, we have antique people in here. We have Kirsten. Yeah. She's in here, and Tim is in here. They deal in mainly that stuff. So, I mean, every category is probably that way.
Exactly. It's every category has its good sellers and its bad sellers. It doesn't matter whether it's antiques. Doesn't matter whether it's electronics. I mean,
Andrew.
Hey Andrew. Like I think that any category has that, like whether it's clothes, electronics, antiques. You know, even if you can even niche it down even further, so you can be like, I don't know, if you're into antique, like light shades or something. I don't know, antique.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Within that, you're going to have light shades which are like old and antique, but no one cares because there's no brand on them. Or there are going to be some which have got a brand that people know that, like from the 20s or 30s or whatever, that people know about and will sell.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Kirsten. Like as I was saying that, it's you probably have to buy a lot of bulk lots and take the good with the bad. I would think in that industry, like in that, like just in certain categories, and because I don't know anything about antiques, like honestly, like zero. I could never give any.
And like if you were to get mid-century modern pieces right now, you can sell those fast. Like that, if you could find enough of.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, how can you source a whole store full that sell within like 3 months, 6 months?
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I don't know. I might have them sitting under my feet. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know what they are.
That's true.
So,
I do too, Kathy. I love uranium glass. You know, over the years, his Instagram, I need to talk to you, Tim. The way you take your uranium glass pictures is amazing. Mine doesn't turn out like that. He probably has a bigger lamp. I don't know. But that glass glows in a black light, so he has some sort of setup, I guess. He has a great Instagram too.
Yeah. He does. And that's another thing. Like when I was talking about how like his diversity, like just his family diversity blew my mind. But then just looking at him taking that and then him being an antique person,
it doesn't look right.
Nothing that he does makes sense. Like on the surface, it's like blows my mind.
He's so knowledgeable and nice. I'm so excited to like have somebody that I feel like I can contact.
I feel like he rides his skateboard to the antique like shows.
I think so. Yeah.
And he's like, or he's like breakdancing with like on an antique plate or something. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Like
it's pretty cool because it's just not the typical.
And those are the people that interest me the most. You know, it's like it's wild.
Yeah. But I just feel like, it's nice to know somebody that you feel like really knows their thing. And I love to buy glass, but I'm not good at buying glass necessarily. So, maybe I'll send him a picture of what I think is a good buy, and he can tell me how wrong I am.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that I have that kind of knowledge in any one category. Like I know enough, like just a little bit about a lot of categories to be enough to be dangerous, and like not enough to be proficient in any of them. It's weird because I don't have the attention span to even.
Yeah. Shazad gives up on us sometimes, Andrew.
Yeah, I think Shazad is out like finding new captives. I think he lost a lot of legs last week. If you didn't notice, his sales were down on all Zahir shows last week, and I think we lost a lot of legs in that.
Yeah.
So, I have brown Uranus glass, Kent says.
And that was funny because those, remember those bottoms up shot glasses I showed the naked lady? I just got lucky in finding out that was uranium glass by finding it in one single listing that had sold. That didn't look like glass that was uranium at all. So now I know you take a black light and you shine it over every piece of glass because it doesn't have to just be green or yellow to be uranium. Uh-oh. Yep. What happened, Kathy?
What?
Kathy, he's fine. eBay Blows is my friend.
Yeah, it's Pat, the reseller.
I was like, what?
He has a hate relationship with eBay as well as me. We're actually, he's one of my favorite people because we feel the same way about eBay.
He's putting himself down.
Yeah,
he's having fun.
He had a bad run, and he's another guy, and I don't even know how he has he deals in recyclables, right? And now what you would call it?
Recyclable, yeah. Well, yeah.
He gets recycled electronics, right?
Like computer electronic thing. I can't even tell you.
They strip them and strip the gold and stuff like that.
He's got an intense.
Yeah, setup. He's got a massive setup.
I can't even wrap my head around it.
He's been doing it for 20 years? I mean, ridiculous amount of time.
Mhm.
and his eBay literally
So damn old. No, just kidding.
his eBay literally died. Like died. His sales plummeted. Someone who's been doing it for a long time, knows the market, knows it. There was nothing he could do to save his account, and that when you see people like that, it just solidifies it all. You know, like it just solidifies it all.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd love to go into it more, but I don't know what he wants to share.
Yeah, I don't know exactly either. I just know.
Like, I don't like to share people's info if I'm not 100%.
I mean, I wish I knew more, like to say the story, but I just know what I've read in chat only. But I know that he was not happy with eBay. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he has like, I think he deals in a lot of money, like too. It seems like buying. You know, he buys a lot, spends a lot of money to make a lot of money.
Yeah, he does, and he's got some killer kids that help him out too. They are cool. Yeah, it's so cool though to see how people do it different. Like I couldn't ever have a setup like that, and
he could never take pictures of clothes.
No,
you know, and it's like that's the cool thing. There's so many ways to make money. So many ways.
Yeah, I know. Andrew, me too.
What'd he say?
I'd love some listings.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah,
but and that's that's the thing.
I'm just telling myself, imagine if I had everything that I've recently bought listed at once, and I know it would sell and make me lots of money. That's what I'm telling myself.
But you're listing it?
Well, I've only done 6 drafts, but it's still more than I would have normally done. So yeah, it's a start.
You're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
Hi, Amelia. Yeah.
Hey, Amelia.
I feel like I've fallen behind with my like I was sourcing too much. Like not too much. I'm sourcing every day. I'm still going out and looking for stuff every day. But I don't want to kind of stop doing that. But it needs to be listed. It just needs to be done. I think like this whole thing of like listing stuff and just having bags and bags of stuff building up, and then it needs to stop. I can't function like that anymore. There's no space. It's just bad business. It's not good. It's not good. It's sourcing, like it should be something you're doing like every day. I really do think like because
here's where I'm coming from. That's how I want to start. Not maybe every day, but every other day or something like that, and just go out on quick runs, right? Because this past month, like December, I took off because I felt like I deserved a break or whatever, which was so stupid.
You mean the break after you took the break for the summer? Okay, all right, just verifying.
Yeah, well, and I was still listed. Well, it was a sourcing break. I didn't source, but I'm doing my bookwork right now. You know what I spent in December for sourcing? $100. Okay, because I was listing shit that was sitting around and piled up, right? Big mistake on my part, listing this crap that was sitting here as, like Tommy always says, as punishment or whatever. Stupid. It should have gone straight to the donations and gone out of my house, because my store is dead right now. I had 0 sales yesterday. And I mean, Poshmark will give me one here and there. It has killed me because I'm listing rubbish where I need to be out there getting the things I know will sell.
Or you need to take and get rid of all the shit and start over. One or the other. You need to make a decision.
Can I also say just?
And then I got sick for 2 weeks and still so you have to account. You might take a break on certain things, and then something might happen that you can't. Now I couldn't leave the house, so it just really screwed my whole store.
I think one other thing I found is when it's not going well, it's harder to list.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's actually when you need to list the most. It's typical, but I feel that. Yeah.
Why can't I just donate shit? Like I donate it.
You can,
but then I keep stuff that I should take with those donations. I'm like, well, this one's okay.
You could, or you could even auction stuff. Honestly, I would, like. Honestly, like rather than just donating it, if you found like a local auction, you could literally create job lots, like household job lots, and you'll be surprised. People bid on that stuff, and you might actually make you might actually get lucky and make some money on it as well. I mean, I don't know what, again, I completely different country, completely different situation, but I'm sure people are the same. People are just people, and
They do pay at the auctions. They get competitive and bid against
exactly.
each other,
It might not go for much, but it's something, and it might just open up another avenue for you guys, like, to think about, in terms of like.
I just tend to get into my head too much sometimes, and I mean, I give plenty away. I donate plenty, but then I keep stuff when it should have just gone with it. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, if I could clear my head and start over, man, it would be
some other poor reseller like me will end up buying it. But that's all. But that's what auctions are. Auctions are literally like, mostly people that have bought something, have decided that they don't want to sell it anymore. And like, so that's why you sometimes get such good deals. It's not because the stuff is rubbish, it's just it's become rubbish to you. Like, if you have something, when you bought it at the time, you thought it was worth listing. You might have bought something for $1 and thought, oh, it sells for 15, I'm happy to list that. But right now you might be like, it's not worth me listing something that's only going to sell for $15. But at the time you bought it, you might have been like, it's only $1, I can sell it for 15, nice and easy. And you bought it. And that's what so many people do. And there are people out there that are still happy to do that. So if you're not happy to, but if you're not happy to do it, then that doesn't mean that there's no more value in that item. There's just no more value in it for you specifically. But if you put it on in front of the right eyes, i.e. at an auction, I think the good thing about like a local auction is it's going to attract resellers. Like a garage sale attracts resellers. Either garage sale it or auction it, because like those things attract the right eyes. You don't want to, you're not looking for the end buyer anymore, because you've already decided that you don't want to go through the effort of listing and shipping that item for $15 or whatever. So you dump it all at an auction where there are going to be people out there that are looking to make money, and they will see the value in those items and maybe bid a few dollars for them. Just my opinion.
No, that's so true. It's just, I don't know. You got to get out of your head sometimes. It's hard.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I know that I don't want anyone to take it like against them, but I personally have to start making myself do what I say, take my own advice, because my advice is great, but I can't take it. I can give advice, but I can never take it. It's so weird how that works. And as far as like when you're sourcing and I'm not taking anything home that doesn't sell for more than $40 ever. I'm not doing that. And then in your cart, lo and behold, well, I'm right here. Here's a $15 item. Oh, well, I'm right here. It's only 99 cents. I'm falling into the same trap.
I felt bad the other day. You were showing some clothes. You go, but it was only 99 cents.
I know. And I'm like, and I know this, but that's why I'm doing it, to punish myself, because I know if I show it to people, then I have to eat it. I have to like show that I did what I say not to do. And it's so hard. It's just like, I don't know why. And it's not worth the time to list anything like that unless you're making it lots, lotting stuff up.
But I think that again goes, again, I think that goes with your mood. Like if you see that things, say you start listing stuff like regularly every day and stuff's moving every day, you'll find that and you're selling things every couple of hours and you're accepting offers and things. Suddenly, like personally for me, I won't mind listing a slightly lower value item because I'll be in that churn and burn mentality. I'm feeling good because the store's turning things over. You get those little...
Well, that's kind of like what Grandma said, up here is she'll list 10 good items and then 10 small, low dollar postcard type items, because it is good to have a variety in your store. But if you've done 10 good ones, it makes it easier to do some lower value, right?
There's got to be a mix, yeah. There's got to be a mix.
Here's another thing. Like, people talk bad about death piles. I realize now it's good to have somewhat of a backstock to list, because when I went sourcing the other day, I had to have things. I had nothing that I'm going to list in my house, because all of this needs to go. What is here is not worth my time. So I had to buy things, and I knew I had a certain amount of time. I didn't have all day to go out sourcing like crazy. I had 2 places to go, and I had to buy enough to get me through a day or 2 of listing at least. That's where you get in a problem too, because there were 25 resellers in the first store I went in. So I still found some things. Second one, I found a few things, but I had to force myself. I didn't have a choice. Otherwise, I'd have to come home and figure out a whole different business. So definitely having something, I don't know, what do you think is a good number to have backstocked to list?
Whatever your head can wrap around. Like it's got to be a white noise issue.
Yeah.
It can't be a number. It's like every person's different. Like Zahir, he doesn't like it. It eats him alive, like me, I think, because like with Cernoc's basement is Zahir said he would rather quit reselling than
because things lose value. Like in your if I had, it depends on so many different things. If I had like a workshop or a storage space, okay, then I wouldn't mind necessarily having a big backlog of stock, because it would be in a like a
what
area.
If it's all video games that never going to go down?
It doesn't matter. I just don't want to sit on things. That's
right.
not what
Okay.
I'm here. I'm not here to sit on things. Do you know what I mean? I'm not
a regimen and a schedule that you go out daily now. Like you've got it down. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't do that, and maybe that's just what I need to do.
I think you definitely need to have a plan of some kind where you tell yourself, and I do think that you've got to kind of make a decision. Like for me personally, like I'm not here to sit on things, like right. if I wasn't reselling, my house wouldn't be like this. Okay, so I need to kind of make it work as best I can. Now currently, because it's in my house, I've got a very low tolerance for stuff now, and things that are going to come in and they're going to go. They're not always going to go for their best value or whatever, but they just have to keep moving, just so I don't get sick of them. It's a personal thing. But like I said, if I had a specific work area or a workshop or an office like I had, I'd be a lot more tolerant. Like when I had the office, we had a whole drum set sat around. But it was worth it. It took a while to sell, but we made good profit on it. However, if I had a 6-piece drum set at home, like the big bass drum and the cymbals and the cases and everything, I'd be getting rid of it super cheap. I'd be taking it to the auction. That would go straight to the auction, because I'd be like, someone else can deal with it. Someone else can get a bargain and deal with it. I'll still make a... Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's so... But my problem is just I can't concentrate with all the... it's like background noise to me, all the stuff sitting around. It literally just does my head in and makes me, like I said, I come down and get paralyzed sometimes if I don't. But I'm getting ready today to go out and start redoing everything. Like I'm like building a YouTube studio, sealed off. I'm doing like everything totally new so that I can refresh. Like
it'll be fun that way, right?
Well, it'll like re-energize. Like if your desk is clean, how much better you feel when you sit down.
Huge amount.
Huge. Clean for a day or two.
Right. Like I have literally
nightmare.
Shit everywhere.
Me too.
Everywhere. Yeah. And it's like it's irritating me sitting here looking at it. And you need that headspace. You need your work area needs to be clean. You need like all that. Like if like I can see Zahir, like it looks like his listing area is getting crunched back there. Is it, or is it just the way the angle?
It's probably the lights. So no, it's actually in
you have plenty of room back there?
But yeah, I've made a lot of room, but there's a lot of junk that still needs to go. So
right. Yeah. And it's like, so mine, like listing, I have a tendency, does anyone else have a tendency to do this? This is my biggest problem. I pile stuff around me when I'm sitting on the floor. I literally will pile stuff around me. So then when I move my chair, I can't even get out.
You have to hop over it.
I gotta jump, step on stuff, roll over stuff.
But do you list right there? Is that right? Because I list here. And so I'm fine as long as it's being listed that day, but if I don't get to it, it's here the next day, and then it'll be here for another day. No, it's
but like I started pulling stuff out. Look at this mess. Like I started pulling stuff out to like redo it. Watch. I just like look at all this. Like it's already started. Like that's my listing area over there. Like but there's 2 tables side by side. The whole floor is filled. You can't even see the tubs because I can't lift it high enough, but there's tubs like everywhere.
It makes a huge difference. It really does. Like your work area is so key. I mean,
see like those shelves like there that are in the back.
Right.
I'm getting 8 more of those so that I can get everything off the floor today. and no more tub. Like the tubs will actually go on the shelves instead of on the floor.
That's a tough one too. Tubs on shelves is great, but I realize some people can't do it because it does take up more space that way. Like Mel, back from Bernhard, she can't use shelves. She doesn't have room. Her tubs wouldn't fit in her area if she did.
I think the other thing is you have to, especially with storage like tubs, you have to have everything in them, because you notice how much space you waste as soon as you run out of storage, and then you start storing stuff in different shapes and sizes of boxes or whatever you find, and you start realizing how messy it becomes that way. I just think that tubs.
That's what I'm getting ready to do in my upstairs area.
Yeah.
Like my photo up there, but I have some storage area up there too, and it's shelves. But I have hard goods just on the shelves. I need tubs on these shelves so I can inventory it and find things better. And I just have, it's one of those things I don't get to. Like I need to list more than I need to organize at this point. So it'll have to eventually.
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends because I think like I've spent a bit of time getting myself sorted so that I can list. So honestly, I know it sounds like really painful because your store's like quiet at the moment, and you know you're feeling like
that won't make me money. Organize my
I know
money right now, and I need money more than anything.
But it will make you money, Traci.
It will. It'll
that's the thing. That's the hard. It is really hard, but it will make you money.
I've been pinned up in this house for 2 weeks. I gotta go. I gotta get out now. So I'm gonna be sourcing. Like I'm sourcing right after this.
But see, I can get just as much thrill out of buying stuff to organize as I can sourcing.
Yeah. I can get thrilled buying anything.
Yeah, like that will give me more thrill than buying more inventory that's going to add to my my white noise that I
need to hype yourself up to be like, I'm about to make some money because this is being listed now or something. I don't know. It's just...
Hey, there he is. There's Jamie John.
Hey, Jimmy.
But that's the thing. Like if you like, so mine's my basement, of course. So if I come down, it's just like a clean house. You come home to a dirty house, it drives you bonkers, right? You come home, you have someone come clean your house, and then you come home and it's like totally clean. How does that? It makes you feel amazing, right?
So good.
Your work area is no different, and that's like the biggest thing. It makes me not want to work because I'm just paralyzed.
It's made a big difference to me, like recently, like having. Just because even the way you store your stock, because you sometimes forget what you've bought, where it is, and you're like, just that's why people like to pull out a certain number of items to list, because why do they do it? If you think about it, what is the science, or what's the reason why people say pull out 5 items? Yeah, why do they do that? Like because most people have got a pile of crap and they'll take a box and they'll take 5 items from that pile of crap, and then suddenly instead of a pile of crap they've just got 5 things in front of them, and like you said, Tommy, they can cope with that. They can get their head. Yeah.
So what I did is I got a clear tub now, and I've done 3 tubs so far. Then I took a week off.
I know. Well, and that's okay as long as you get.
So I just got a clear tub, like not a huge one, just enough to and I fill it. I just go and literally I go to a shelf. There's like shelves back here that are unlisted, and I just go to the shelf and I don't care what it is, and I just fill it.
Yeah.
And then either I list it or toss it, and I have like 3 tubs of tossed so far. And then like 3 tubs listed. So
exactly.
And I have like tons and tons and tons of drafts that when I go back to eBay that'll just immediately go live. And it's like I have like 280 some ready to go as soon as I don't know if I'm gonna do it today or not. I need to not do it because once I turn eBay back on, I'm consumed.
I know.
eBay is like different. It's a different mindset. Like the rest of the stuff is just tinkering. When I get it back into eBay, it consumes me. So I need to be ready, and I'm not ready yet.
Well, we always talk about Poshmark being a needy, platform. eBay's a needy platform too, honestly. I mean, it's probably
every platform. I think every platform is needy. Like I'm getting it into my head. Like I'm really trying to tell myself that you can make money on whatever platform. There are people that the platform is irrelevant. The it's all about process. If you don't have good process, you won't do well on Amazon. You won't do well on any other platform, eBay, Facebook. Even if you don't have a process, like there's probably people that kill it on each. There's probably some amazing seller out there. There's a Shazad on every. There's a Ronnie Hart of Poshmark. There's going to be a Ronnie Hart on Facebook.
And there is people that kill it on Poshmark. There's 6-figure sellers on Poshmark. But what I find is they have to do it differently. Like you can pay like VAs to share your Poshmark and stuff like that, and it's very cheap. It's kind of dumb not to do it because it's a waste of your time. I
find that those people are using a lot of stock photos and selling new items through bulk, deals. And I think a lot of them are just using flat lays too. I really do, because to get through that much and to turn over so much. The mannequin is just not going to be what they need. Mm-hmm. I know you've looked into it a lot lately. Is that what you're seeing, or am I wrong?
What's that?
Like the mannequin is maybe not the best way to go for that.
I just can't get away from it. I just can't stand the look of a hanger. Like I cannot do it. And that's nothing. That's only me. I'm sure the buyer doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's just only me.
I'm just trying. I'm going to try it. This week,
and we see people sell like Hustle at Home Mom. She kills it. She does flat lays only on a little rug. Mm-hmm. Mel, Braun. Yep. Mel kills it. She does flat lays and hangers. That's it.
That's Mel's kind of why I started looking at it. If she can get that many listed and photographed in a short amount of time, I need to rethink this thing. And there's always going to be the certain items I want on a mannequin. Like I've got a long coat back here. It's going to go on a mannequin, But Mel would put it on a hanger. I know she would. I don't know. Got to rethink.
Rally Roots only does a hanger. That's it. You see, like they're the ones that started that monster hanger, extra large hanger deal to make the clothes look better, so they're not folding over on each other, which is brilliant. That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just me. I need to get over. Get a floating island Club Med grand opening. Well, I have a shirt, funny enough, for Club Med if you'd like to buy one lobster on Instagram. I found it. Have you ever heard of Club Med, Zahir?
I heard you guys talking about it earlier.
The big hanger. Yeah. So it's pretty funny. I wish it was a little more raunchy, but
no, it is good colors, but that's just one of those items that you said it to. Well, it was 99 cents. I'm not gonna leave it.
I thought that more for me just because it was funny. Like it was like Club Med had a mystique. It was like taboo, like naked, dirty old men running around trying to hit on women from other countries.
It was really pretty popular back in the day, I think. Or it seemed like it was. It never went.
Andrew, I make love to my I make love to my mannequin. True story.
I believe it.
What do you name? What do you name him, Andrew? I'd like to know the name of your mannequin.
Question: do you guys have a guideline of the percent of items or dollar amount in your inventory that you feel should sell each month to feel confident that you are selling the right stuff?
Absolutely. I'm like anal retentive about that stuff, man. That's like, I catch so much heat for it because everyone is very defensive over their models, which they should be. If they believe in it, that's all that matters. Yeah. There's no right or wrong, but I truly feel that I don't want anything to sit here more than 90 days at the max. Like, that's just my opinion. Like 90 days and it's gone one way or another. It's gone for cost. It's going for a small loss. It's going to be a shrink. It's going to an auction. It's going to do something.
I love it when you say this because I tried this and then I go backwards and go, it's okay if it sits there. No, it's not. It's really not. And then I love that Zahir calls it turnover instead of.
Well, that's what I said the first time I heard this. Like, that's where I got the phrase. I've said it like twice ever, but I learned it from Zahir because they call it turnover. When they do their chin wag every Friday, they call it turnover. We don't call it that. but that's exactly what it is. You're turning over inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, we're like, we're in the business of turnover, not store over or sit over or whatever you want to call it. And it's like,
you're not here to say.
Okay, some people's model is that.
right.
And
But
that's fine, but it's not mine. I don't have room for that.
I don't. You know what? I'm not even sure if it is anybody's model though. I think people say it's their model. Yeah, it's just you're here to make profit. It's simple as that. Now you're not here to make profit on your deathbed. You're there to make profit during your life so that you may enjoy the fruits of your labor. I'm not putting my hand in bins and going through charity shops and looking through people's thrown away items to make money like in a year's time from now. Or because logically, if you're happy to take that profit in a year's time from now, logically, how far are you willing to go? Why not 5 years then? If it's good enough in 1 year, why not in 5 years? Why not 10 years? Why not 15? Hey, why not 30 years from now?
Yeah.
It's just I can't do it. I mean, other people have got different opinions. That's great. But my honest opinion is, this is now I'm being honest. This is not. I wish I'd had this opinion from day one.
Yeah.
But I also had that opinion on it owes me nothing. It's not taking up storage. It's fine. I've had that opinion before. And for some people that might still be fine. So I'm not, it's easy to say, like, I don't want to come across as I'm like knocking it. It's just for me personally, like mentally, for my own mind's sake, I'm now wanting to buy things to sell them, and to sell them quick, not just to sell them. It's to sell them quick. There's lots of stuff that has profit in it. Okay,
I mean, there's like look at car dealers. Like, it's a different, it's a bigger number, but they still have to sell cars in a certain amount of time, or you see craziness going on. They're getting sent back for credits. Their end of the year blowout. They have these plans that they need to sell X amount of cars per month. They have to be done, or they're not turning their lights on. They're in a different mind. They have to have, like my dealer that I go to, his light bill, just his electricity, is $40,000 a month.
Most businesses don't go broke because they've got bad ideas. They go broke because they run out of money. That's the
so he's gonna sell how many cars just to pay his light bill. That don't include inventory. That don't include, they get a lot of incentives from dealers, from the companies and stuff like that, but they still have the interest that they're accumulating, because none of that's cash.
Do either of you guys watch Resell Rabbit? Have any of you guys watched?
I've watched a few of his.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
Back in the day.
Okay.
He buys like tractor trailer loads of stuff.
His business has flourished. Like he also used to go out and do FBA on the move and all that kind of stuff. But his business has flourished now, where he's got like a little warehouse space, and he does clear outs and buys by the pallet load and whatever. And the guy will literally do dollar sales. Now he could, he will also do pallet loads. He will clear stuff, because it's about clearing the stuff. It's about taking it, moving it on. You take your little cut, move it on. As soon as your money, because your money, I wish there was like a ticking timer on every item that you bought. That was counting down, removing value. Like, if you bought this for like even $1, right, and you're sat on it, every day that should go down to like, every few days that should go down to like 98 cents now it's worth, or the profit, or if it had the profit amount.
I wish we could set it up. Actually, I wish we could.
I'm not selling this, by the way. This is mine.
I thought you were going to try to auction it.
Well, and that's the thing. I want to try.
This is so cool. It's War Machine.
Because I've already have like in play, like for free shipping, to show people how much money they lose on free shipping. I already have a spreadsheet started on that.
Cool.
I just got to see what kind of numbers I want to use with it. But I would love to be able to find a way to depreciate items over a year and show you what it takes, because if you like, there's math, there's got to be math that'll show you, if you sell an item today, say you pay $5 and you sell it today for 10, right? There's got to be math that will be able to show you that if you sat on it for a year to hold out for 15.
Well, if inflation is in the UK, inflation is 2%.
Mhm.
So roughly, like if inflation's 2%, your stuff's buying your pound is buying you 2% less,
Mhm.
a year later than it was the previous year, kind of thing. So
Right.
you could just work on it you could work on it on a very basic thing like that. But I think it's also a mental thing as well. I mean, it's not, like I said, some people it won't bother them. Some people like the security of having like a large inventory, and you can do really well out of it as well. But
Yeah.
you've got to find out who you are. Like, everyone talks about their YouTube channels being their like journey, right? You're sharing your journey, and
Mhm.
we like we've said that so many times. We share our journey with reselling, and
And now we
part of
need to come up with a less weird phrase than that, though.
I
Since
no, I think it's quite.
it's so girly.
It
Shame.
does share my journey, but I think it is. But I think part of that whole thing is you have to find out what kind of a reseller you are, and you're not going to know that within the
And it's
first
gonna
few
change.
months.
It's always gonna change.
Exactly, it's going to change.
Yeah.
So
Like
right.
my sourcing here is changing big time. I see it happening. There's so many resellers here. I personally love to travel out of town and find different stuff, but that takes a whole day out of my listing and everything. So that's not always easy to fit in either. But I'm going to have to change my way with this many people in this town until I move.
I think, I mean, it will. I think that's a good point though. That you will change, and you will change how you source. You'll change how you sell. I mean, who knows that a year down the line I might be sat here thinking, oh, yeah, actually it's fine to have stuff just pile it up because it sells eventually, and I've got the spec. Because my situation might change. I might end up, if I ended up with like a huge warehouse or something, it wouldn't be an issue. Like.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a beginner's way of thinking too, because they're building up a store is how they're looking at it. I got to build this up.
No.
I've never seen a brand new seller say, I want everything to sell like immediately.
Straight away.
Their goal is always building up a store. This isn't a store that people walk into, and this usually isn't a store that people shop. Like people don't come to my store and go, how many items can I get from Traci? That's very rare that happens. So I want to get out of the building up phase. Like that.
I mean, exactly. I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm like, I mean, our general. See you later, Andrew. Like, for me, I'm gonna be proud if I can get a big turnover out of a store with a smaller amount listed. That's now going to be, that's our aim. Because we've got a store where we've got a big inventory, to get our turnover, and now we've got a store which has got a really small inventory, that's actually trouncing the turnover of the bigger store. Like, it's yeah,
and it can be done. We see it with people all the time, and I've proven it. I've shown like all my numbers before I got suspended, and it's like I had 350 items, and I was selling 600 every 60 days, and what that did was two things. That the most important thing that it made me list, because if not, I didn't have anything to sell.
Right.
If you got 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 items in your store, you're selling 50, 60, 70 a month, whatever. You can still fall into I don't need to list because I still got 3,000 items.
You're right.
But you do need to list because what you've got listed isn't
selling.
Unless it's that profitable what you're selling that it's paying for everything you need. But
can store their inventory in their home and pay for storage units. So there's money there too.
Got like, I don't know, right under 700, and I don't need that many items, and there's so much junk in there. Even though I've taken things off, there's still junk in there that I need to let go of.
Well, we've reduced our second store now, like down, like we took a bunch of stuff off of it. We're down to 185 items, and there's still probably another 20 to 30 we could probably take off that we're going to be going through. And that store has done so well for us, like like for our needs, and we're doing about 1,000 a week on it, which is more than we're doing on the store, which has got like 1,800 listings.
Hey, Tupac.
So it just
Lisa, how much house insurance do you have? Enough to make it worthwhile. But and that's the thing. It's like and like I said again, people like the couple of pickers like Scavenger Life. They started in a whole different era of eBay. They under the listed and forget it like thing, and that, and I'm sure now they I don't think Scavenger Life will ever admit it, but I think Lisa and Rob would tell you if they started today, they probably wouldn't do the same thing they've done. They would.
But Tommy, I would say that if I owned my own home with like a lot of land as well, I don't know if I'd be bothered. I'll be honest with you, like personally, I think I might be okay because I could then do the out of sight, out of mind thing. But I'm in a rented house; it's a small house, so therefore, like again, so it's such a movable feast.
So you think you could be like? I think I could be 8 or 9,000
Yeah,
listings.
I think I could possibly. Yeah, if I had if it was my own property that no one could tell me what to do, I didn't have a landlord. And I had acres of space like those guys do. They've literally got acres of land. Yeah, screw it. I'd have as many as
if you can walk away. I think you're right. Totally.
But let me ask you this, okay? So because I like Scavenger Life, I've listened to them for a long time, but I sense what's going on with their business personally because they have employees, they have that help, they have
eBay's become they're less hands on with eBay now. Yeah.
Right, and the thing about it is also they're making a killing with they've taken that eBay money and turned it into Airbnb and stuff like that, which
smart move.
Brilliant.
Such a smart move. Smart
move. But they still love eBay, and I think they haven't come to terms yet. They're paying people to list and do whatever, ship, blah blah blah, and their eBay store is now down to sometimes $700-800 a week. They're saying with employees. With 7,000,
eBay's paying for eBay. There's that again.
Right. eBay's just paying for eBay.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Now, is it worth it? Now, if you got 7,000-8,000 items sitting in there and you're paying employees and you're breaking even, is that worth it?
No, well, obviously not. No.
Right.
If you're just breaking even, right. You've got to be profitable. The number one thing is you've got to be profitable. You've got to make.
That's for how eBay's changed because
unless they're in a process of making a big change in it,
right, and they're not saying it,
right,
and they might be
business with the business during a change.
I'm gonna have to go. I just noticed the time.
He comes in and drops the hammer and then just leaves us. Let us fend for it, right?
No, it's just I've just noticed it's 4 o'clock. I need to get the shipping out.
Get the packing done.
Yeah, no, it's done. It just needs to be taken out. So
thank you.
I wish I could have stayed because it was a really good chat.
That's okay. We're not gonna make these long in the morning because we got work to do, but we'll be leaving shortly too.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I'll, if you're on later, I'll put on later. But
thank you, Z.
All right, see you later.
But the thing about it is, and I'm not knocking them because they're they're the ones that started it all. They're the innovators that we all started watching, and that taught. That's just how eBay was.
Right.
But now eBay has changed. eBay is not. They don't. You have that, and this is why I go back to the small store theory, because eBay doesn't make all your items visible at one time. They're never all visible.
Right.
eBay loses listings. eBay dumps listings.
You think if it's not visible, if these listings aren't visible all the time, even if you have a smaller store, do you still feel that, or do you feel like there's?
But 1% of 300 is
so
a much smaller number of 1% of 3.
So you think it's a percentage? You think?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much everyone acknowledges that only 1% of all items of eBay are seen at one time.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what people can figure out.
Okay.
eBay, like I said, eBay's even put that in their terms of service now. Yeah. It's in their terms of service that they do not guarantee your items will be visible. What more is that going to tell you? Even it doesn't matter at that point, because if it's enough for them to put that in their terms of service, it's much more of a big deal than we know. Because they got to acknowledge it now, and they don't acknowledge anything. eBay does not acknowledge anything. So
and the thing, once you have it figured out, it changes anyway. So you just really have to better your sourcing. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, in my opinion. Better your sourcing skills.
But the thing is like, again, eBay has also acknowledged that items go stale. So if you have these monster stores, like they talk about on their podcast, and they have stuff that's been sitting for 5 years, right? They've said that they have stuff that's been sitting there for 5 years. What in that? When is it going to sell?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. And at this point, you've lost tons of money on it, no matter how much you invested in it.
Right.
If it's a nickel, That nickel in 5 years could have made you
Well,
$50
and
somewhere
I
else.
don't know how it exactly works, and I don't want to quote it wrong, but I know that whatever inventory you have that didn't sell at the end of the year, you do end up paying some tax on. Okay, so if you I'm kind of kicking myself. Like I should have just blown every piece of crap item out before the end of the year. That is the stupidest thing to do, to hold on these low dollar things and not blow them out by the end of every single year. So that's going to be something I work on hard.
But if you think about, like, and here's my conspiracy theories. Like, I believe in everything in the world is 1%. Everything. Only 1% is allowed to succeed. eBay only allows 1% of their items. You're supposed to sell 1% of your items every day, right? So if you got 7,000 items, they should be selling 70 a day.
70. That would take up a whole day of shipping for me. Okay,
but they're selling 7 to 10, or 15, and it's not them. They haven't changed. eBay's changed. They just haven't evolved with eBay. And I'm not knocking them. They're brilliant at what they've done. They probably don't care because they've made so much money. Now they've invested in other ventures.
It's almost worth taking to a flea market and blowing a bunch of stuff out, or super cheap, and just gaining your space back and being able to remodel your design of business.
But I'm any person that's been on eBay for a long time that will pretty much tell you that if you're not selling 1% of your inventory a day, then then those items, you got to rethink those items. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why, like Walmart, Lisa just said, there you go. Walmart loses money on lots of items all the time, but they make so much on everything else. But they run on a much smaller margin, of course. Was he here? I just got he was here, and he was eating like a gourmet burger, Shazad, while you're grueling in the in the workforce. I mean, he's just living it up, and you're still
and I wish I knew. I wish I could give information on what you're taxed on with your stock that didn't sell. But
I think that's how it depends on your business model, if you're an LLC, if you're a sole proprietor or whatever.
Maybe.
Because as a sole proprietor, it's just basically what you spend versus what you make. I mean, it's just tax. It's just, that's what it is. Like, and that's how, if you're an LLC, you have to pay tax on the inventory you haven't sold or something. Like whatever's here, you got to take inventory every year. It's crazy. I'm not an LLC, so that's just what I've been told.
Yeah.
But again, there's nothing wrong with breaking even or losing money on a small percentage of your items, because you're making 10, 20, 50, 100 fold on 90% of your items.
Yeah.
That if you lose 5% on 10%.
The stuff you break even with, it still helps your store because it's movement. And that's hard to wrap your head around because you've spent time listing it. But I totally believe that. I love listening to the way people run their businesses, so I can try to change. I just need to actually put in the change now. It's hard for me to put things into motion like that.
It is, and it's hard to make yourself stick with it when you're outsourcing. Yeah. It's like I said, I do it myself, and I know not to do it. Yeah. But I'm just like, if I'm standing next to this shirt that I'm going to make $40 on, and I can just literally take my fingers and squeeze the one I'm going to make 15 on and put it in the cart, why not do it? But I also know that I shouldn't do it, because by the time I list it, sit on it, ship it, fees, taxes, I don't make $1. It's like, it's just, that's the way it is. There is a number when it's all said and done, with your time, with your shipping, with your taxes, with fees, you literally don't make, I think it's like $13 or something. Anything less than $13, I forget what it is. I'll have to go back and find out. But if you value your time and everything, it's like anything less than $13, you literally don't make a penny or lose money on. It's and I forget who said that one day, and it was someone that I don't watch anymore, but it was brilliant anyway. And it was like very interesting.
Yeah, and that's, I think, why I have such an addiction to YouTube, is just to get ideas and to get motivated, and all of these things are so important. And you can, but it's really hard for me to be motivated
Mhm.
to do anything the correct way without others telling how they do it. Really, hey, Ronnie Hart.
Speaking of value and time,
That's right.
there he is. Hot pickers.
Hi, Tony.
He's probably eating the Five Guys right now,
Oh,
killing it.
doesn't a hamburger sound good right
It
now?
does. Here made me hungry. I'm like, oh.
I'm gonna go sourcing when we're done here, and I'm gonna grab a burger on the way.
Bluegrass. There's nothing wrong with that bluegrass. Like, I've learned so much from people on YouTube.
Hold on, you are talking to two YouTube addicts here, though.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with that. So take that.
I know. Like, as long as you're learning and not just sitting there eating potato chips, and like, as long as you're learning, doing it to learn, like take Ronnie Hart, Heart Pickers right here. I watch everything he does, and there's not a video that he does, a sold video, that I don't learn a new brand. Never, not one time.
Right.
I learn a new brand I'm like, when does it end? When does it end that I don't learn a new brand? It's got to come to an end at some point, but it doesn't. It never does. It's been over a year and I still don't, it doesn't end. And so that's education, right? You can't put a value on education.
Free education too. So
yeah. And like, if I could wrap my head around like Tim's over the years, there's so much education there.
Yeah.
But I can't even begin to comprehend what he does. Like, I don't have that much hard drive space in my brain left. It's just, it's that.
Yeah, I know. And like the hard goods, the antiques, all of that stuff, we keep saying that's so interesting. Was it Zahir that said that? He's saying, well, why can't you turn over antiques fast? I don't think you can, but what an interesting concept, though, to purchase only antiques or vintage that sells fast. Like, that never even entered my mind.
No, me either.
I'm really stuck on that, but I don't think I could accomplish it either. So
just when you think Zahir's got no knowledge, he comes out and drops the bombs like that, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, and again, there is a point where I think we'll take Ronnie Hart. He has things that he buys. He's going to make a lot of money on.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's going to sit on for 6 months. That works out for him because he's making $100, $200, $300, $400. He's not doing it for 20.
Exactly. And
if you're doing it for 20, it's different.
And he doesn't have a huge store. He doesn't have 5,000 listings. So, you know, he's got fast selling items too. He just throws in those big ticket suits, which, yeah, look at the body types of everybody. You have to wait. You don't have a choice. You can't force that period at all.
I mean, I would love to be able to cut out my labels again, like Ronnie Hart. Like, that was so soothing, man. I'm just sitting here like dying over that. Like,
I wasn't soothed, but I get it.
But, you know, like the days, like, you know, where I got my ass handed to me and Lowell's top rated, I had 105 going out on a Monday and I wanted to hang myself. Yeah. And Ronnie Hart's just, and I made like half of what he made. And he's just sitting here cutting out labels, and I'm just like IKEA bags, and I went through 4 rolls of you know, bags that day, and he's just, hey, I'll take my 9 into the post office, and he cleared $1,000, and I made 600. It's like, it just, oh God, it kills me. I want to get there so bad.
Oh, fessing up. Oh.
Look, Zahir dropped knowledge. Are you sure? Yeah, well, he just brought up a good point that there is in every category. Could you just source fast moving items? Like every category, is it possible?
Yeah,
I guess it depends on where you live, right? I guess it's possible.
Okay, I think it is depending, but for me, I think it's going to be easier to do that if I go out sourcing more often. Like I used to be that person that waits till the weekend for yard sales, or if I was thrifting, it'd be once a week, or I have to go more often.
Well, and if you utilize all your tools, like I don't know how many people in here, but just me, I don't have, you've seen my yard sale maps. I have like 2 in the whole state.
Yeah. It's
like not possible, but I do have, lots of auctions that are going on all the time, like on high bid or Auction Zip, and I don't know how many people use those, but man, there's some craziness on there.
Yeah,
Craziness
that's
on there.
another thing I keep meaning to go to an actual auction here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's mostly high-end things and big things, but they are sure to have the smaller things at the end. Isn't that how that normally works? Like,
Well, no, these are like online. All these are
all
online.
those are online. Okay,
Yeah,
but I know you go to auctions.
But I like going to the local auctions.
Do that, yeah.
But it's no, you just end it and relist it, Tim, like, and do the title. They won't do anything that I know of. Like, I've never seen it get a bump just changing something.
Nah. And edit it. But I mean, if you don't have any watchers or anything on it, just go ahead and sell similar.
Yeah, sell it similar to itself. Yeah.
That'll boost it better.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, and I don't know, like, that's such I really want to get into that, because that seems like it's, you just bid, you go pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to leave your house.
Yeah.
You know, that makes sense. I mean, to me, like, time.
Yeah, and I think I'm looking at the actual auction as a way of me getting out and going back to my parents used to take me to auctions like that every week.
Right. But and when I go to those, it's a whole day gone though.
Yeah.
Like, it's like starts at 9 in the morning and goes till 9 at night.
Yeah, that's not smart at all. Maybe
like, I mean, if you can get $4 or $5 grand of inventory in a day, sure. Right. Yeah. But mine is like, I might come home with like a couple hundred, or you know, at the most maybe 1,500.
That's probably all.
It's like, it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah. And from what I hear from others, ours is just a lot of big, really nice furniture, which would be amazing. I wish I could sell furniture like that, but I don't have space.
Right. And well, like, yeah, that's what Bluegrass just said. Mine's the same way. Like, when they do the furniture, they do the furniture at the end.
Yeah.
It goes for pennies on the dollar. Like, washer and dryers, brand new. Like, they go for nothing because no one can take them home.
See, I could do that because those are fast flippers here. Yep. Washer and dryers.
If you have a trailer or a truck,
yeah,
you can make a killing on that stuff. Because, like, here, no one can. Well, half of the people that go there are older. They can't lift it, you know?
Yeah.
Or they don't have.
And if you ask less for it, like on Facebook, it'll sell within a day or two every time.
It's crazy. I watch stuff like that makes me ill just go out the door because I can't take it. And I'm like, ugh. Now I take all the TVs and stuff when they come up because I can just lay them flat. And people won't bid on that kind of stuff really because they don't. I mean, it's even working and they still won't bid on it. They're scared of electronics for some reason.
Yeah.
But they'll bid a PlayStation or something up to $100. It's worth $20, but they won't bid a TV or something working up, and they flip so fast on Facebook. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's the things that everybody doesn't know. Like Mike, the crazy card, he waits for the scraps that he knows are valuable and nobody else wanted. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But I don't see that kind of stuff that he sees at my auction either.
No, he's in a historic area. I mean, granted, I would think Delaware would be, but it's not, you know, because.
Well, see, the problem with Delaware is it's mostly been farmed so much. It's all that stuff has been turned up. It's like there's so much farmland and it's so developed. I mean, there's not much undeveloped land. It's just people don't find anything anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's with the airbase here and the amount of people that come in and out. It's crazy. It's crazy how many, thousands of houses going up every day. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
60 plus people in here.
Oh, thanks, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't.
You only got 4 thumbs down. Wow.
That's great.
I know, right? That might even go down since they're usually the same person.
I know. See, the storage unit thing is something I can't ever do. In my mind, it's just more money going out. And that's why I felt so good about doing the antique booth when I did that. I thought, I can just store stuff there. And it became a hassle for me. But it's funny doing my taxes right now, looking, I'm like, I keep going, maybe I should do the antique booth again. It wasn't that bad, but no, it was, I swear.
But yeah, and that's the thing, like, with storage units, like, It depends on your mindset. Like I look at them as every month I pay for it, the stuff in there is losing that amount of value.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I pay $200 a month for a storage unit, that means
Well, the problem is people use that as unlisted inventory storage.
And they just sit there and never take anything out of it. If you're turning it over,
and then get another storage unit, do the same thing with that. And because it's out of sight, that's how it's going to stay. Yep.
If you're turning it over, it probably is sensible, right? I guess. I mean, if you're turning that unit over every month or a couple months, whatever, depending on the value of inventory, I'm sure you got to have a point where it's break even or make money.
Right.
But if not, then it's a loss. It's just a dead loss. But some people just can't get rid of that inventory, right, Lisa? Oh, hey, Lisa, you're in here still. I think Lisa might have a couple storage units they haven't been in a long.
Her honesty about it, because that's maybe an embarrassing thing for a lot of people that don't want to share it, right?
Well, I think it's liberating for them, and I think that she just said it earlier. They're evolving because, again, they started when eBay was set it and forget it. They started with the Ron John method, just set it and forget it.
Well, and I think what they've done nice. I think by being so open and honest about all of this, it really helped more people than they even realize. They kind of started a movement. I was seeing Instagram posts of death pile challenges and things like that. And that's important to motivate others to better themselves while watching you go through your experience, and here she is sick and she can't do it. And that's like, always going to happen. You're ready to change things in your life and you get sick or something happens.
Right. But then you, like me, I'm like, my brain works. But here's how my brain works. I would blame all that, me being sick, on all of that stuff because it's doing my stress level up. It's like, it's making me stress. It's making me not just be myself. So, and it would shut me down. Like I can't do what they're doing. Like I can't make myself go out and start throwing shit away like I need to, but watching them do it is so gratifying. That's like, I think it's an eye opener.
It is very much.
It's definitely an eye opener. And when you see someone that's been doing it for 20 years start to say they need to change, they need to evolve, that's when like eBay's changed. Like as much as I say it and I know it in my heart, it solidifies it when I see someone with that much experience say eBay has changed. Because I wasn't here. I mean, I wasn't doing it when I'm not even at 2 years yet, and it's changed.
Many times.
Think about 20 years, how much it's changed.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it's got to be, but it's also got to be upsetting to someone who is that deep into it that they thought they had it all figured out, right? And then eBay just flips the switch.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to go back to that. So we
no. It's not, because eBay don't have the server space to let you do it. No, it's going to get worse.
And it's going to get worse, yeah. And that's why that turnover word is so important. I need to use this word every day in my vocabulary. Turnover. I need to go shopping for turnover. Like it just has to start my day. That way, I think you can put a more value on what you're buying and put things back on the rack or whatever. If you look at it, rethink it. Is this going to sell in 3 months? No, put it back. It's $1. Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need to spend $1. It's hard.
Yeah, but it's like, again, it's like people have to realize that eBay is literally out of server space. Like that is a fact. That's why they can't show everyone's inventory. That's why people lose inventory. That's why listings go stale. They don't. And all the other companies now see what eBay has done and how they failed at that. And they're making it so you can't bombard their servers and run them down. That's why Poshmark, you have to refresh. That's why you have to share over and over to get yours. Mercari, you got to promote or end and relist to get it to the top, right? Yeah. There's something that they make you do. Facebook, you got to bump. You got to bump it. You got to renew it. everyone is making you do that because they've seen the failings of eBay where they dumped all this, let people just put anything and everything on their servers and sit there, tie up the space, and now they can't handle it.
So if everybody just goes in, everybody on eBay went in and blew out their crap items, their low dollar items that have been sitting there, or even mediocre items that have been sitting there for years and years, eBay might revive at that point. Do you think, just clearing out the server space somehow, it could revive itself, maybe?
I don't know. But then they have to learn how to code it again. They can't code anything. We figured that out.
Yeah.
And see there, at least it finally, there she said it. 2020 is the year of buying things that will sell now, not 1 to 2 years from now. I know, but but I understand the challenge too. Like it's so, especially like if I could see, and I think that's why I'm so anti-bins, because I think I would be terrible at leaving shit behind. I would be terrible. I know I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have trouble leaving, stuff 99 cents behind that is going to sell for $10, $15 that I shouldn't bring home.
Yeah, I don't have that problem so much at thrift shops. At yard sales I do, but our thrift shops, our 99-cent tags aren't worth anything usually. Like they've been picked through so many times that everything's gone by the time I get there.
So if I could get that same stuff for $0.25 at the bins, I'd have truckloads of the shit, man. I'd be fucked. Yeah. I would be so messed. I would be screwed. So I think that's why I try to talk about it so much, because I know that I couldn't handle it. I couldn't say no. I know.
It's rough, man. It's so rough.
I think there's just a fine line between being the hoarder versus the seller, and that everyone's like teetering that line. It's like you're gonna fall over.
Exactly.
But Frankie Fine say, okay, here's my old lady wisdom. It's about change. It can change with the times. He was coming. Yeah. And you're right. Even if you don't see it, but at least when you do figure it out, pivot hard, fast. It's just
definitely
it's crazy.
Is there anyone in here that wouldn't mind going to D Flippin' Particles channel and grabbing her link and putting it in the chat? She goes live in 30 minutes. And I would love for her to have some viewers over there. Because I won't be there. I'm going sourcing. I should list a couple before I go sourcing, huh? That's smart to list early in the morning.
What about when you get that shit free? It's the whole different dilemma.
Even harder.
I just wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. I just wouldn't take it. I would. You have to only take.
Yeah, I've done that. It's not worth it.
You would have to be able to. I mean, if it's free and it sells and you're not sitting on it for years, sure.
And if it's easy to, if it's fast to list. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Kathy and Rick have put in the link for D Flippin' Particles if you want a show to watch.
Would it be worth it if you could process all that cheap items? If you could process it and turn it over, Shazad, like wholesale, like of course. But most of the time, the cheap stuff is cheap because it's flooded or there's a demand on this type of stuff, not the type of stuff that he sells.
No.
And I think that's where he's like kind of
But look, nothing's more expensive than free sometimes. That is so true.
Right. I mean, and like I said, I'm going to go back and find it, whoever, and this is just what someone who is probably the best person I know at the math behind eBay. When I heard them talk about how much is a break-even point you have to sell something for before your time and effort you actually make zero.
It's eye-opening when you hear things like that.
And it's like it really is eye-opening. And it's just like video games. They're like, okay, $9.99. They list, they sell fast, but still, why would you want to ship 50 of those a day when you could ship $10, $50 items? Just that. It's the whole thing, the whole picture. You can't scale, and that's another thing. It's impossible to scale on $10 items, $15 items, $20 items. You run out of time. you run out of time so fast with the listing, the pictures, the shipping, and everything versus a smaller inventory of high dollar items.
Right. Yeah, and you've got to just find out how to create more time, and that's by more expensive items. I have no time in the day, it seems, and I waste a lot, but I'd like to waste a little here and there.
German articles. Oh, bum crack. You're a mess, man. Oh, gosh almighty.
We all trip over it before we came live. Or no, you said it live, didn't you? The tripping over things.
Who, me?
Yeah, you just sit here and
I mean, if I could show you my floor, like it's disgusting. Like I look up stuff and then set it beside me and then leave it there, and it's like then I have until it piles up to where I can't move, and I have.
It's almost like you need little cubbies where not worth it.
I mean, the ones right next to me, like 3 feet away, that I don't use.
Yes, that.
It's crazy. It is insane. I don't know what's Ronnie praying to.
You.
I don't know. He just come back like church is over. Amen. Like
God's.
He's like, I think that's his. He said we're done. Cut it off. I think.
I think so. We've been going over 2 hours. It's time to go. That's a funny bum crack. You crack me up.
I know. Is that how you got the crack in your bum?
They need to be the same item. Yes, that's how you can scale cheap items. The same items.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wholesale, yeah, replenishables, yeah, of course. Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, can't scale unique items. Yeah, it's crazy. Not with one person.
Yeah.
Nice, awesome.
Oh wow!
That's awesome, Veronica.
Congrats. Yeah. Pass Oh my god! I know everyone in here watches the couple of pickers, but if you don't,
they're hilarious.
Coming back to rewatch this, they crack me up.
I know they're like they're becoming like my favorite live really fast.
I've never in my life contacted someone go, you going live tonight? Are you going? No, I'll contact them to go live so I can list with you or something. But this is the only channel that I'm like waiting to see if they're going live. And that's what we were cracking up with on your channel was people are asking when we're going live. And it's so fun.
I know.
They're so good.
It's I do the same thing. Ask Lisa. I ask her like 2 or 3 times a week. Are you guys live tonight?
Yeah, Lisa, find me on Facebook so I can ask you and you can reply. Because I keep doing it on Instagram and she's like,
yeah, you got to use Messenger. She's quick on Messenger. I think that's where she does her hookups at, her dates and stuff.
Okay, cool. Right
on. Rob's asleep.
Hi, Candace. How are you?
That's it's wild.
Yeah.
Candace.
I know. It's so far behind on here.
Yeah, I haven't seen her on this screen yet. I had to look over. Yeah, she's funny. She's hilarious. Everyone should be watching her.
Yeah, you didn't include Rob in that at all.
Rob's not hilarious.
He's funny to watch squirm though. It's very funny.
Yeah, Rob's just he's like the
he's the
awkward mime.
He's got the leash handle. And he's
in charge of the internet and mute. That's it. That's what Rob's there for. And what's the odds that he's called Comcast yet?
He has not. 100% has not. I guarantee you.
Has he thought about it even?
No.
He's
trying to think of how he's going to explain to you that he didn't do it, right?
He's going to spend 2 hours on the story of why he didn't go versus just driving over there and doing it, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think they're going to get a new modem and it's not going to be the issue because granted I did the same thing, but I had to do some other things too.
Yeah. So that number, that 888 Comcast number that's open 24 hours a day, you could call and they can troubleshoot your line. They can run signal test and everything and tell you where to go.
Mine did a hard reboot for me and they found that what I was paying for wasn't what I was getting. They upped it because I'd been paying this whole time for a certain amount and I wasn't getting it.
Nope, so Rob just woke up. See?
But tell Rob I did get some money back. So maybe. Yeah.
I mean, when he's waking up at noon, that's generally why he don't get anything done, I guess.
Yeah.
Now he's got to ship for the next till the end of the day, and everything's closed by the time he's done shipping.
Yeah. True.
Lisa's gonna have to change his ways. She's gonna have to
Crack a
change
whip.
his ways. You're gonna have to put his ass to bed at like 8. You can stay up and play all night, and then because you can get up, he can't.
She's been taking naps. They probably they only see each other when they are live, I think. And it's true, YouTube will do that. It'll kind of mess up fire.
Hey, look, little bum crack. Hey, Candace, toilet roll tube seller. Did you see that when she sold 200 toilet rolls?
I remember that. She did.
Oh my God. I was like, there's no way. She's full of shit. She did.
Yep.
Oh, he stayed up late last night.
How do you sell people's trash or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Or followed by the video of how do you sell gifts from your family?
I know that was. But see, I remember when she kind of came back on the scene, I was like, you can't do that anymore because cubic shipping screwed all of that up. It's light, but that's big. So
yeah. She's got to learn it all again. I don't think she's doing eBay right now, is she?
I don't know. I haven't seen her. Don't hate. There's no hate.
No, there's no hate. No. I can't wait till you come back. I'm excited. She's so much fun. Yeah. If anyone hasn't seen her dropkick video, they need to go watch it.
It is exhausting keeping up with. I'm sorry, it's exhausting for me too. It's not for Tommy. He goes all night. But yeah, I get it.
But I'll take like a 2-hour nap this afternoon, and then I'm ready to go again.
Yeah. But
I'm like excited.
Destroy me is the problem. I can't nap during the day. I'm done at that point. I can't wake up and be productive. I can wake up, but I'm not productive. I just kind of, scuff my feet around. So I sold empty baby wipe containers, sold thousands of them. You can sell anything on eBay. Never underestimate the stupidity of eBay. This is so true. There you are.
Mm-hmm. But over here, like the shipping would be so crazy now, like because of the size of the box. Yeah.
Unless you can stack them open or something. I don't know. Yep. So we're going to
That's what the whole thing was at first, Tim. It was like something that would have been really, really bad for her if she did drop kick it. And I tried to set her up for that. And I didn't realize it at the time. I'm glad she caught on to it. What was it? Was it a church, Candace? What were you going to drop kick it first?
Puzzle of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember, but she'll say it. Glock said balls deep. She said I'm about to list a lot.
All right. There you
go. All right.
Do it. All right. I'm gonna go sourcing. What are you gonna do?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start working on ripping everything apart.
Okay.
But it's all on video. I'm gonna videotape all 20 hours of it and then never do anything with it.
Exactly. Don't waste too much time with the recording part.
The Capitol building, that's what it was.
That's it, yeah.
God.
All right, well, have a great day. Be productive.
Oh, and I don't know if they're still live. Everyone needs to go over and watch Nate and Anthony's channel this morning if they did not watch, because Robin B from Australia was on there, I think, today.
Hi, Harry. I'm so bummed that was today.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there, and I messaged her. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'll watch it back because I really, she's such a good person.
Even Georgina even messaged me. She goes, I'm torn. I go, you go over there. It's fine.
Watch her. We're gonna be here. That's like something you don't see. You don't see Robin on channel. She's not that type of person, so it's rare for her to catch her live. And I wish I would have thought about it beforehand. Did
she send you pictures of the mountain man she fell in love with?
Who?
Robin. Her mountain man.
Her husband?
Uh-huh.
No, she didn't know.
Okay. They just seem like a cool couple.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They seem really awesome together. I mean, she has them like on her Instagram and stuff like that.
Hi, Harry. How are you?
Hey, Harry. How you doing, neighbor? Message. Yeah. I need to, Tim. I need to like videotape my box of glass that I have and see if I can
I want to be a part of that. Seriously, let's go through your box
and just throw it all out
and have Tim on and like I want to hear what he has to say if he's willing. I mean,
Because the shit, like, and this is how stupid I am. All glass looks the same to me. It all looks the same.
okay.
I mean, just it's got red and its bumps on it. I mean, it's the same as the other glass with red bumps on it.
The hobnail. Okay.
Yeah, hobnail.
That's so funny.
All right, everybody, go watch D Flipper Particles. Today she is her show where she's doing nude listing, so everybody should be there to watch that.
Yeah, she has a special guest. His name's Tommy. He'll be nude as well.
No, it's Harry
I
Humpstone.
just hit the button, I think. Oh no, I didn't. Okay.
Harry Humpstone's gonna be over there listing nude. You gotta watch.
Bye guys. Have a great day. Coming.